happy Christmas in July. This is our last pattern of the series and I'm so sad, but I knew the last one had to be Chenille yarn because you know I've had a little obsession with it. And I just did a bunch of worsted weight yarn videos, so I had to add in my Chenille tree. Hi guys, it's Katie from Yarn Society and we have Chenille trees today. I made this green one with a nice little twine, and then I have the red one with this really pretty Chenille ribbon. And I'll show you how to do that. This is the original rustic tree in the worsted weight, and I just modified the pattern a bit because I didn't want the Chenille trees to come out huge. So if you're interested in a worsted weight option too, you can check out that video as well. You can grab your yarn, an H hook, and a stitch marker. How we're going to do this video is we have a small tree, a medium, and a large. We are going to crochet the large together, but I will tell you when to stop and add the border for the small, and then when to stop, add the border for the medium, so that you can just fast forward. When you are done with the small or the medium, you can go back to round one and then go ahead and work through the next size. So we're going to get started. For round one, we are going to make 3 single crochet into a magic circle. I am going to link the video on how I make my magic circle down below, but you can do that however you'd like. So just make 3 single crochet. You can tighten up that magic circle, but try to leave a little bit of a hole there because we do need to add our ornament hanger and we don't want to struggle while doing that. So don't make your magic circle too tight. You can place a stitch marker on the last stitch of the round or the first stitch if that's what you like. For round 2, we're going to make a single crochet increase in each stitch around. I'm going to go into the first stitch here under both loops and make 2 single crochet. So here's 1 and 2. I'm going to move over to my next stitch and make a single crochet increase, 2 single crochet into the same stitch. And then here is my last stitch. We're going to make another single crochet increase. At the end of round 2, we're going to have 6 stitches. You can change your stitch marker. For round 3, we're going to make an increase in the first stitch and single crochet in each of the next 2. And we'll repeat that 1 time. So our first stitch, we have a single crochet increase. And then we'll make a single crochet in each of the next 2. So I have 1, move over, 2. And then we'll make another increase. Here is single crochet 1 and 2. And then we'll make another and then single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. Your work is going to tend to turn in on you, so go ahead and keep turning it back the right way. You can change your stitch marker. At the end of round 3, we're going to have 8 stitches. For round 4, we're going to make an increase in that first stitch. And then we're going to single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. Here is our first increase, single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches, then we're going to make another increase, single crochet in each of the last 3 stitches. At the end of round 4, we're going to have 10 stitches. Change your stitch marker. For round 5, we are going to make an increase in that first stitch, single crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. Here is our increase, single crochet in each of the next 4, and then we have another increase, single crochet in each of the next 4. At the end of round 5, we're going to have 12 stitches. At this point, we are going to stop if you're making the smallest top layer. You're going to fast forward to the border. You're going to add the border, and then you can rewind it back to round 1 to start your medium tree. To make our medium or our large, we're going to start with round 6. So we have an increase in that first stitch, single crochet in the next 5 stitches, then we have another increase, single crochet in the last 5 stitches. This pattern comes along pretty quickly, so that's one really good plus about the Chenille yarn. At the end of round 6, we're going to have 14 stitches. This would be your medium tree, so you could stop here if you were making the middle, the medium-sized tree. Fast forward to the border, place that, finish it up, and then go back to round 1 to make your large tree. If you're making the large tree, we're going to keep going. We have round 7. We're going to increase in the first stitch. Single crochet in the next 6 stitches. We have another increase, single crochet in the last 6 stitches. So we're almost done. That was super quick. At the end of round 7, we're going to have 16 stitches. Now we're going to start our border. So no matter what size you are on, our border is always the same for each. For the first stitch, we're going to single crochet 3 times, and then we're going to slip stitch into the next. And we're going to repeat that all the way around. First stitch, we're going to make 3 single crochet. We have 1, 2, and 3. We'll move over and make 1 slip stitch. We'll repeat that, make 3 single crochet into the next stitch. Move over for a slip stitch. Then we have a 3 single crochet. And then a slip stitch. So we're just repeating that no matter how many stitches, 3 single crochet and a slip stitch. I will let you concentrate now so you can finish that up. We're making our last 3 single crochet, and then we'll end with a slip stitch. From here, I'm going to leave a bit of a tail, and I'm going to fasten off by yarning over and pulling through. I'm going to tighten that up and grab my yarn needle. You can take out your stitch marker, and I'm going to weave in that piece. Chenille yarn is not the easiest to weave. That's for sure. It kind of falls apart on you a little bit. But I'm going to weave in this end the best I can. If you want to, you can weave in your magic circle piece. You can flip your piece out, but I've noticed with the Chenille yarn, you really don't need to. I just want to show you, because we're working in the round, there's usually like a little bit of a higher edge, only because working within the round, you end up a little bit higher on the last few stitches. If this does bother you, you can just line up all of your trees so that they're all lined up at the same divot. Once you have your trees together, we're going to grab something to add as a hanger. I have this Chenille ribbon, and I'm going to show you how I like to place that. So I'm going to cut myself about 15 inches of this. It's usually a little bit too much, but I like to have more so that I'm not struggling to make the knot. Grab the edges of your ribbon and place both edges into your yarn needle. And if you have one of these handy dandy ones that open up that I usually use for the Chenille yarn, that's even easier. So once you get the edges in, I just like to pinch them to hold on. You can grab your small layer and go down into the top of the tree. At this point, you'll want to grab your hook because you don't want the ribbon to be pulled out. And then you might need to adjust your tree also because it might get pushed in a little bit. So if it does, you can just keep kind of pushing it out. Like this one wants to suck my tree up. So here I'm going to push it out. And then pull that. I'm going to get set up again and just pinch that edge. And then find your magic circle because the chenille yarn can get tricky. And then pull that layer through. I'm just going to puff up my bottom layer because it's also getting a little wonky here. Okay, once you're all set and adjusted, I like to make a knot at the bottom. Make sure your hook is in place, and then I really try to pull on it a little bit just to get some more slack. And then I wrap the ribbon around my finger to make a knot, and my goal is to have the knot line up with the border. That way it isn't too long or it isn't too short either. So if you can kind of hit about this spot where the edge of the border is, that seems to work out the best. So here's my knot. I'm just going to cut off that extra bit of ribbon. And then you can just pull straight up with your tree. An optional thing you can do is grab some fabric glue, and I like Aleene's fabric glue, and I like to just add a dab around the edges of the tree. And I even like to add a little dab on the inside where the bottom knot is, just to keep everything in place. That's it. You made your Chenille tree. Now go make them in all the colors. I also have the worsted weight version if you wanted to see that again. And if you also wanted a few more options, here is the farmhouse tree. It's basically like the rustic tree, just with a different border. And then if you like something a little more frilly, I also have the ruffled tree as well. Videos for all of them. They're all in my channel, so just check those all out. Happy ornament making. It's my favorite time of year, and I'll see you guys soon.